from JON'S Do It Yourself. I just received my 24 watt Atezr Laser Engraver. This is the L2, the second generation laser from Atezr. It boasts up to 60% faster burn times. And it's one of those lasers that if you lose power in the middle of your burn, you can pick right up where you left off once power is restored. So I intend to check this feature out. Being a 24 watt laser, it should be able to cut some of those projects that my other lasers struggle to do. So just like in all my videos, let's not waste time making you listen to me talk. So let's jump right in, see what this laser can do. Then if you're still here, I will pause and give you an unbiased review. If you already have yours, you can skip to the end and see how to put this thing together. So let's get cutting.
Before we begin using Lightburn software, you need to create yourself a hotkey in the console that will allow you to use the autofocus feature. Find the console tab. If the console tab is missing, go up to your menu bar and click on the word window. Then scroll down and make sure that the word console has a check mark beside it. Now you can go over and find the console tab. Click on it, and above where it says macro 0, hover over that tab and right click. A pop-up window will appear. In the button label, write autofocus. In the macro contents, you need to type open bracket and then ESP 500, then close bracket. And that's all there is. My first burn is usually a test pattern, but since I had a parameter sheet, I thought I would jump straight in and burn an image. I used a scrap piece and used the Atezr logo. My first impression is that this thing is fast. It took no time at all to burn this logo. My second item was a dog tag. First, I had to coat it with some laser marking paint. For an image, I used a simple eagle over an American flag. I had an issue with the autofocus here, because I think of the small size of the dog tag. So I had to resort to the manual focus, but the bar provided worked great. Again, this took half the time as my other lasers to engrave. So while I was looking for ideas to cut, my wife came out in the garage and said, "Hey, why don't you change out one of the faceplates on a lantern and make it more summery," if summery is a word. So I dropped in a picture of a pineapple and cut it out. This laser made quick work of this task. Most of the time, I would not trust a laser that I am this unfamiliar with for a customer's project without a lot of practice. But things were going so well, I thought the way things were looking that I could pull it off. So the next project would include both a burn and a cut in the same project. This logo will go in a shadow box for a retiring fire marshal. At this point, the item needs to look professional and not have any errors. So this is how the end product should look. Since I have already used this laser to cut a few objects, let's see if it holds up to its claim of 20 millimeters in one pass. Now the website claims 20 for this, but I'm going to set the test to 18 millimeters. 18 millimeters is according to the parameter sheet. My top board is mahogany. The second board is the MDF or medium density fiber board. And the third and lightest of the bunch is polomia. So starting with the mahogany. Here is an example of autofocus not functioning properly. I had to reboot the Lightburn to get it to focus on this board. Okay, my first test. Alright, with one pass at 260 millimeters a minute at 100%, it gave me an 11 millimeter cut. Now that's pretty impressive for a hardwood, like mahogany. I would almost venture to say that I could cut through this board in 4 passes. The second test was with the MDF. The MDF did not cut as well. I made one pass and then even attempted another. The second pass got me to the 9 millimeter mark. This was interesting. I expected this stuff to cut easier than the mahogany. The polomia cut really nice, just short of the mark. Remember, I am using the specs provided in the thumb drive of this machine, and I'm sure they are for a 20 watt laser. So, with just a few tweaks, I'm positive I could get this to cut the claimed 20 millimeters in one pass. Next I took some tempera paint and coated a piece of glass, just a simple compass. This came out fantastic, and again only took half the time normally taken when I use other lasers. Watching this now in action, I realized that I should have raised the piece off the honeycombs for an even smoother burn. While looking for tools at a garage sale, I came across an old, bent, and beat-up machete. It was only $1, so I thought I could restore it. My son said no way you can pull that off, but I ended up making it straight and razor sharp. So I decided to use it to see how well this machine could burn on carbon steel. I sprayed this just like I did the dog tag, and my lesson here would be to burn each logo individually instead of as one big image. This laser is fast, so making it travel a distance of the blade for each line was unnecessary. Next, I wanted to burn some galvanized aluminum. The only thing I had handy was a small thumb drive. This burnt so quick, I'm pretty sure I did this in under a minute. Creating a jig for 20 of these at a time could be very profitable. My only issue here was getting the autofocus to work on such a small item. Now that I know this thing is fast, let's test those special features like the power loss restore feature and the color engraving capability. I took the Atezr logo and started burning it into a scrap piece of wood. Then, right in the middle of my burn, I pulled the power cord. I wanted to replicate a real power loss, not just a power button induced shutdown. Upon regaining power, the machine cycled, homed, and then picked up right where it left off. There is no visible change in the burn. So the last thing I wanted to try was using a rotary. Now Atezr has their own brand of rotary that is compatible with this machine, the KR. But if you already have one and are wondering if yours is compatible, my guess would be yes. I have the X-Tool R2 rotary, and it was just plug and play. I grabbed my test cup, which had a very small area left untouched, and I framed out the area with the Atezr logo in it. Without any real measurements, I just hit play. I just wanted to see this thing in action. I burnt the Atezr logo into the tumbler in just a few minutes, so with some tweaking, I'm sure I could come up with some great and elaborate designs.
Okay, I wanted to pause before the unboxing and installation portion of this video and give you an unbiased review. So to this point, you have seen this thing in action. I've cut quite a few projects. So let's start with the cons and work our way to the pros. First thing I noticed out of the box is that this thing has no safety off. Those slap stop buttons that give you a sense of security when things go haywire, I always just want to go smack, the whole thing stops. Also, I love the power restore, but the power restore only works if you are using G-code and are running your project through the 4-inch control screen. This function does not work if you are executing through Lightburn or GBRL software. And for me, I am so comfortable with working right out of Lightburn that adding an extra step by exporting the G-code to a thumb drive and then running it on the system, it's just too much work for me. So this is a feature that I would probably really never use, but I really liked it. Also, you cannot use the side red crosshairs if you are using Lightburn or GBRL. You have to use the fire button. I'm used to that anyway, but the crosshairs feature is really nice and I would have liked to use it. The routing of the air assist tube can be obstructed in here and you won't know it. And I had to take this apart where the tube runs through a few times just to make sure it was not squashed. And you can't tell if it is except that the air is not flowing. As you saw with my depth test, this thing can cut up to 18 millimeters in one pass, but this is a specific type of wood and they leave that bit of knowledge out when they are advertising it. And the website boasts 20 millimeters in one pass, but I did not achieve that. The autofocus is hit or miss. I had to reboot each time I changed material to get the autofocus to work, but when it did, it's fantastic. It also does not work with small objects, say like the thumb drive. Small objects need to be focused manually, but they do give you a neat focus stick that works great. Now I'm a computer geek and I could not figure out the Wi-Fi setup through my phone, but I can tell you that when I do, I'm sure that this will end up in the pros of the system because I love working with apps. Okay, since we're mentioning the pros, here are the pros. Even if you are new to lasers, this thing is super easy to set up, which I'm about to show you here in a second. So they boast that this thing is fast. Well, I'm going to tell you this thing is fast. Greatly improved productivity. It reduces work time. I am impressed with the speed overall. Overall, it is sturdy. This tool is not flimsy. It's not a light tool, and it's not going to break on you. You can treat it rough. It does come with a parameter listing for a 20 watt laser. Remember, this is a 24 watt. But that'll get you in the ballpark, which will reduce your trial and error. But I would like to see one specific for this model. It comes with a great air assist. This pump is probably the best one I have seen when it comes to lasers. And you don't have to purchase this as an extra accessory. It supports rotary technology. Atezr has its own KR Pro, so you can engrave cylinders. I used my X-Tool rotary with this, the R2, and I didn't have any issues. So if you're wondering if it's compatible, well, it was. Pretty easy, just plug and play. Using the control screen alignment with the crosshairs makes alignment super easy, and I really like that feature. So it just makes dialing in on your project super easy. If you like working from your desktop, then this device allows you to export and then use the display of the machine. No laptop is needed. And if your laptop dies, production is not halted and you can make your deadlines. So overall, I was thoroughly impressed with this machine. It's definitely worth the money. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer, this will definitely up your game. So let's put this thing together.